Shir sponsor Louis Nishmas Arbiak Shalom Nabas Yitzchok. We're holding it Bava Kamo Daf Yudalet. We're starting in the few lines down in Mudalef. To be exact, it's Aini. It's 6 lines on the top. It says the more Aini. What's the more asking Aini? The more has a problem. We just had a machlekes that we learned in the previous daf. Machlekes says, do you have the chotzer hashutfi? When you have partners, is that considered to be, and one harms the other, is that considered to be rishus harami because it belongs to both? It doesn't belong only to the nizak, only to the one who gets damaged. It belongs to somebody else as well. And then he's going to be patur by shem v'regel, or it's considered to be rishus hayachid because at the end of the day, it's only 2 people. It's only the mazik and the nizak. That's the question. The more brought machlekes. So this is more aini. What means the question? The reason is fair shabrayis. Chotzer hashutfim, the chotzer partners. The pundok is what? A hotel. Chayav b'em l'shem b'regel. You chayav l'shem b'regel. Even though considered to be, you have 2 partners over here, and one is harming the other. You chayav shem b'regel. So clearly, you see over here that there is shem b'regel. It's considered to be not rishus rabim, but chotzer nizak. The chotzer of the one who gets damaged. Says the Gemara to the Rabbi Lazar, to steer Rabbi Lazar. Omar lechor Rabbi Lazar v'tizbro. He says, Rabbi Lazar, I'll ask you a question. Masnisu mi lepliga. I'll bring you a brisa that says exactly like the original brisa. I'll bring you a brisa that tells you, the opposite of the original brisa. I'll bring you a brisa that says like Rabbi Lazar. What's the brisa? V'atani, it says in the brisa, Arba kula lo yisab shirma lo zoyim rizikin. Shirma lo zoyim, it says in Nizikin 4 rules. What's the rules? Kol shu rishus the nizak v'loy lamazik. If it's a rishus for the one who gets damaged and not the damager, chayav b'koil, then you have to pay, because what do you mean chayav b'koil? You chayav in everything. You chayav. We'll see in a second. And the Gemara is going to tell me what is losh chayav b'koil, right? B'koil, not sure everything completely. But in terms of the simple pshat, before we go into what the Gemara is going to tell us, chayav b'koil means Karen is chayav and shen v'regel is chayav. Because even though shen v'regel is patur rishus harami, they're not patur rishus nizak. If an ox goes into the property of somebody else and damages over there, it's chayav b'koil. The mazik v'loy the nizak, it belongs to the damager, and after the one gets damaged, patur mikoil, it's completely patur. Why is it completely patur? Because the reason it's completely patur, but mazik v'loy nizak, is because what are you doing in my rishus? We saw it yesterday. Yesterday's daf. What are you doing in my place? You come into my place and then you get hurt? That's your problem. If it belongs to both, that's our sukya. Biko means a valley. The many fields over there belongs to many people. Patur b'al Hashem v'al regel. You patur on shen v'regel. Why? Because it's rishus harabi. Negicho, which is goring. Hanegifo, which is pushing. Neshicho, which is biting. Rivitzo, which is sitting. Biito, which is kicking. In all these cases, we talk about they did it purposely. Kavanoso lahazik. Tam misham chatzin nezek. Like a Karen, you pay. If it was the first or the second time, he pays half a nezek. Mud misham nezek shalom. And the mud pays the full nezek. That's the case. It doesn't belong. It belongs to both. If that chotzer does not belong not to the damager and not the one who gets damaged, it doesn't belong to neither of them. It's not rishus harami. In all the cases of Karen, so the Gemara brings over here, you have 4 different cases. A place that is owned by the mazik, by the one who damages. A place that's owned by the nizak, the one who gets damaged. A place that's owned by both, and a place that's owned by neither. By neither. Neither of them. So now the Gemara says, if it's owned by both, so then, what do you see over here? Owned by both, you are patur shen v'regel. So clearly the brisa says, the chotzer shulfim, you don't shen v'regel. The chotzer belongs to both. And a valley, your potashim v'regel, kasha adad is steer between the brises. Says more Kitanya hi b'chotzer amiyuchedet lezeh ulezeh bein lepeyois bein lishvar. Says the Gemara. That case talking about that the chotzer belongs to both for fruits and for shvar, for fruits and for oxen. Meaning, Reuben and Shimon own a chotzer where they both can be here. And in their case, and only their case, we say that you're potter. Why? Because we both can be here. It's like a shusarabi. I'm allowed to be here. And I eat the fruits. I'm potter. It's a place where you can put fruits in it. You can't put oxen in it. Because your shore is not supposed to be here. That's the case. So what are you saying over here? There's a big difference. The Gemara says it could be that chotzer shutfim, regular chotzer shutfim, belongs to the mazik and to the nizak, to the damager, and the one who gets damaged. You are what? Patur from shen v'regel. But that's only if you could put your oxen over there. If you're not allowed to put shvarim there, if your ox is there and is not allowed to be there, then you have it shen v'regel, because that's supposed to be here anyway. The case of Rabbi Yosef talking about that the oxen are not allowed to be there. Here we're talking that they are supposed to be there. Something what they can have, they even do. It says over here by us in the second brayso, the first brayso, dumyo the pundo. And here it says chotzer shutfim ve'apunduk. We say what's a punduk? A hotel. In a hotel, as Rashi points out, usually there's no animals in a hotel. A hotel is meant for human beings. It's not meant for animals to go in there. So similar to a hotel, the animal is not supposed to be here. Also, this case says you don't have to have it be here. Viktanya also dumi de biko. And the second brayso says a valley. The animals also are supposed to be here. Shramina. So what the Gemara is saying, these braysos both agree the chotzer shul and you potter shem v'regel. And the only reason here you chayav is if the shore is not supposed to be there. Matkelo abzeiros, as of zeiro, kivandim yuchedet lepeiros. If it is miyuchad lepeiros, in the end of the day, abinu bir bizdei acher v'leiko. In the end of the day, it says you have to go to someone else's field. This is something which they both can have. Because at the end of the day, oxen cannot be there. It's called deach. So what is the Gemara saying? We see here the Achronim of Ayerli Malin, in the Kavitz Yuri, in the Kavitz Biurim, or Cholim Masarin, different ways they say it. But we'll say what comes out from the Achronim. Zog Deilek Achronim, you know what Pshat is? The Shilas, are you focusing on the Mazik or in the Nizak? The Makshon, the one who asked the question, which is Rav Zero, says, the Makshon Rav Zero says, no, you need to have over here, I'm looking at the Nizak. Or the Nizak. The one who gets hurt, the one who gets damaged. Is that specifically his? Here, Bizdei Acher, is it his? No, he's a partner. So it's not completely his, it needs to be only him. Says the Abaye, you don't look at the Nizak, look at the Mazik. Look at the one who's causing the damage. From the perspective of the one causing the damage, you're going to the field you're not supposed to be at. The field belongs to, I don't care who belongs to. The shore is not supposed to be here. Do you look from the perspective of the Mazik or the perspective of the Nizak? Says the Gemara, according to this, you just said the Bryce are not arguing. It's two different cases. So maybe the Amoraim also not arguing. Maybe the Machlekes over here between Abu Lazar and Rav Chizdo, they both agree that if it belongs to both, you're potter. And if it belongs to both only for fruits and not for oxen, you have. Amalein says, yeah, you're right. You should say they're not arguing. If you do want to say they're arguing, so they're arguing in the case that belongs to both of them for Paris but not for Shvarim. And the machlekes is, do I look at the Mazik perspective or the Nizik perspective? Do I look at it from the eyes of the Shor and he's not supposed to go in there and he's chayav? Or look at the eyes of the one who got damaged and these fruits belong to both? Meaning, more than want to say, everybody agrees if everything belongs to both, for sure you're potter. That's the maskana of the Gemara. Then you're for sure potter. Because it's not Rishusim Yuchetis. But if it's belonged to them only for fruits, not for oxen, that's when you have a discussion according to the maskana of this Gemara. Continues the Gemara and says, Gufo, Homa Arboa Klos, Oyab Shim, Lozo, Oyab Nizaki. So we just said there's 4 rules regarding Nizaki. Koshu Rishus La Nizak V'Lo Lamas. If it's a shus for the one to get damaged, not the one who's damaging, Chayav B'Kol, then you Chayav on everything. Says the Gemara Diuk. As we said before, the Gemara's going to dag the words. Ala Koy Luktai, not Chayav Ala Koy, Chayav on everything. It says Chayav in everything. When you Chayav everything, you can be Chayav. You want to tell me you complete the chayav and everything. So even though it's a short time, we know the short time usually pays half a nezek, but that's only if you did not enter the property of the one who gets damaged. It goes into someone else's property, so he's chayav the whole thing. Man, who's the one Domer says that? Every time it says what's Mishuna? If you are going into Chotzar Nizak, so then it is Nezek Sholem Mishalem. Then you have to pay the whole thing. You have to pay the whole thing. Says the Gemara, Eimo Seifa. Let's learn the end. Lo Ilazeh v'lo Ilazeh. If the Chotzar doesn't belong to neither of them, Kegon Chotzar Shein Ushel Shneim, if the Chotzar doesn't belong to neither, Chayav Bol Hashem V'al Regel. Chayav, you are Chayav. My Lo Ilazeh v'lo Ilazeh. What does it mean it doesn't belong to neither of them? It doesn't belong not to the mazik, not to the nizak. It belongs to a third party. It says you have to go into the field of the nizak. You have to go into the field of the nizak. Meaning not that it doesn't belong to neither of them. It belongs only to the nizak. It's exactly the same case like before. We're talking about Rishus and Nizak. And here we're saying that you pay half a Nizak. This goes like a Rabbanan that's saying Mishune Keren B'Chetz HaNizak, that because Keren is Mishune like the regular Mishune, Chatzi Nezek with the Mishal, you pay only Chatzi Nezek. Reish Rav Tavim Sefer Rabbanan. The Chor you have over here, the beginning of the Raisa goes like a Tafel, and the end goes like a Rabbanan. Do we pay a Tam? Does he pay in Rishus and Nizak, Chatzi Nezek, or Nezek Shalom? That's the Machlokes. Says the Gemara, in, yes. The homily Shmuel Rav Yudo, Shineno, Shweik, Mastisim, V'Tobasoi. Because Shmuel told Yudo, leave the Brisa, the simple understanding, trying to answer the Brisa, and come after me. Make sure Tarfon will say for Rabban. And it can the beginning of Tarfon says you have to pay, say for Rabban. Says the Gemara, Ravina Mishvei de Rava, Markula B'Tarfon. It's the whole thing is of Tarfon. My loy lazeh v'loy lazeh. What does it mean? It doesn't belong to neither of them, to the mazik to the nizak. Loy lazeh v'loy lazeh lepeiros el dechat. Meaning the fruits belong only to the nizak. Lazeh lazeh l'shroim. But they both can enter the shrine over there. The gabish shen of the chatzar nizak. The gabish is chatzar nizak is not rishus rabim because only the nizak can put in the fruits. So it's considered to be chatzar nizak. It's miyucha to the nizak. Legabi keren of rishus rabim, and therefore is chayav chatzar nizak. What does it mean? Rabbi Tarfon says that when you have a Karen entering the Rishus of the Nizak, you pay Nezek Shor. In this case, the Shor is allowed to be here. So he's not entering Rishus of the Nizak. So he pays with Chatz Nezek. But Mitzad, the Paris, only the Mazik, only the Nizak can put the Paris over there. So for him, it's considered to be Legabi the Paris, its own unique Chotzer. Now here we see a big Chiddush. Because I would think that the reason why Peiros B'Rishus HaNizak you are Chayav is because what is the Shor doing over here? It's a time against the Shor. What are you doing here? You're coming into my Rishus and eating my fruits. So you have to pay. But if you're allowed to be here, like Rishus HaRabim, you don't have to pay. But here you see clearly allowing that. Because here, according to this Gemara, the Shor is able to go to Rishus HaNizak. And still is considered to be that you're Chayav on the Shein. You see, the Shein has nothing to do with if the Shor can be here or not. It's Xeris Akos, so the Shein has to be in the Rishus of the Nizak. If it's the Rishus of the Nizak, even though the Shor can be here too, you still have to pay. That's what you see here in the Gemara. Okay, more to talk about, we'll leave for another time. So Gemara says, Iyachi, if so, now Iyachi goes according to both answers in the Gemara. Either if you say that we're talking about Rav Tarfon Rabbanon, or we're talking about the second answer. Tais says, why are we asking only according to the second answer? Because according to the first answer, I understand why I'm saying two different cases of Chatzar and Nizak. One to tell me like Rabbanan, and one to tell me like a Ratafan. I want to say there's a machlekes over here. But according to what we're saying now, Maskana, it's we're not adding anything new. It's not 4 rules, it's 3 rules. Chatzar and Nizak, Chatzar Mazik, Chatzar Shashnei. Says the Gemara, Mavnach Yitzchok. So answer Yitzchok. Shloisha Klolos Bar Milkom. So it's 3 rules, but it's 4 different locations. We have 4 different cases. Chatzar Nizak, Chatzar Mazik, Chatzar that belongs to both, and Chatzar which belongs semi to both semi now. The guy is sure in both, the guy pairs not. So I talk about 4 different stories, and that's why I have here I divide into different 4. The same. When Davidav lays on top, when the Mishnah is up the Mishnah. We continue on this third Mishnah. Do we have the very Loshan Mishuna, the strange Loshan of the Matzchayas we mentioned says that all these Mishnayos are Tana Yerushalmi. We'll use a very strange Loshan. Continue on with this strange Loshan. What is the Loshan? Shum Kesef. Now, this Mishnah, without the Gemara, doesn't make sense. So we're going to learn the Mishnah. Rashi right away says, look at the Gemara. The Gemara will explain to you. Because if you read the Mishnah with just the words of the Mishnah doesn't add up. Shum Kesef, Shaveh Kesef. Bifnei Beis Va'api Eidim. We continue to say what you're chayav on. You're chayav on Shum Kesef, on Shaveh Kesef, Bifnei Beis Va'api Eidim, Bnei Choyrim, Bnei Bris. We'll see in the Gemara that talk about the Eidim. The Eidim have to be Bnei Choyrim, Bnei Bris. Va'anosh Bichlal Nezek, women are also obligated to pay. Va'nizak Va'mazik with Tashlum. Nizak Va'mazik, they both participate in the Tashlum. All this thing wasn't explained. So let's start. So the Gemara. My Shum Kesef. What does Shum Kesef mean? You need to do the valuation with money. What does it mean? Tanila Torah Rabbanan. Like it says in the Brayso. Parashi Zikatalis. You have a cow that damaged a clothing. Vetali Shizika Parah. You have a clothing that damaged a parah. The parah got hurt by the talis. Don't say, you know what? He got damaged, she got damaged. You take the clothing in lieu of the parah. You take the parah in lieu of the clothing. I don't care about the valuation. You don't say that. What do we say? You value the exact money, and based on the money you do that. Now here, that's how Rashi explains it. Let me show you now different discussions over here. According to Rashi, what's Pshat? Why would I think I just take when the parah hurt the clothing, so you take the parah. The clothing hurt the parah, you take the clothing. And that's what it is. So the Chum explained over here, because the Gemara had a having to say that Hezek has nothing to do with money. Hezek means that I am causing you a problem. As we learned, we mentioned again in Masechta, where Moshe Pirzitz starts to say, the Nezek is Loshon, it's something which is bothering, it's a mafriya. Something is bothering me, something is not pure. I need to clarify something. So what do? You damage, I take your thing. I'm not going to Cheshbon, that's our thing. So no, it has to be because I have to value it, and based on the money, that's what we do. And the way Rashi learns it here, we're talking about the same case. The cow hurt the beggar hurt the cow. So I think just exchange it? No. Let's see who's worth more, and that extra money you pay. Tony points out, it can't be that it can happen in the same case. Because, why not? Why can't it be Shiziku Zedze? Because Parah Shizikatalis has to be Chotzar Nizak. And Tali Shizika Parah has to be Shusarabi. Because it's bar, and bar can be Shusarabi. So it's 2 different places. So it has to be two different cases, they're not together. There's a lot of communities understanding the Avon of the Sugya, but let's leave that for now. Wherever we here is the Gemara is telling us what's Shum Kesef? You have to value with actual money. I'm not taking just damages. Oh, I damage you, take my thing. No. What's the exact valuation? Shvei Kesef, what is the Shvei Kesef? They just go and take which means Karka. If he did take metal, he did take movables, Beis Din goy v'lo man, Beis Din take it from there. So the Gemara says right now, you only goy v'karka na metal. Says the Gemara, is that true? Omar Mar, Shvei Kesef, Melamed, Shein Beis Din is kokim lechosim shel macharis. You only take nechosim that have a charis, which means karka. By Mashra, we see that from the word Shvei Kesef. Omar Ba'ula davar shovei kol kesef, something which is worth all money. My new davar shein lo I know. I mean, it doesn't matter how much you pay for it. Even if you pay too much. There's no oino in karkaris. Karkaris, if you pay too much, it doesn't go back. Regular things that you buy, if you paid over a sixth, you have to give it back. So it's not shavek kol kesef. You can't pay any money you want. You have to pay a certain valuation. Here is no shame lo oino. It's going to tell you that it has you could overpay. Toys points out over here that by karka, there is also a limit. You can't pay double. If you pay double, then you don't say it. But up to there's no oino. It's like more if so, if you want to tell me the fact that we're saying shavek kesef, it means karka, because karka has no oino, also slaves and shtaris have no oino. Something is bought with money, and not with meshicha, which is karka. Also, evidence shtar is nikra with money. So the says like this: every movable compared to karka is money, because it's worth money. You can always take it, even if he's not, like Mor said earlier in the Masechta. Even if it's not worth something over here, if I go to Chutzar, it's worth something over there. Wherever I go, it's worth something. So the Gemara says Shvei Kesef means it's worth it's not money mamish. Any metalta is mamish money. Even though right now it's the money, I can exchange it for money somewhere. But this is only Shavek Kesef. It has a value of Kesef. Okay. Says the Gemara, Ramile Rabbi Yudor Bachinino Lavunor Brei Dervishon. I have a question. Tana Shavek Kesef Milamed Shein Bezdin Niskokim. It says we learn now Shvei Kesef. Bezin only take our course, not something else. We learned earlier in the Masechta. You can pay also the sumi. You can pay with any movables. Why are you saying only karka? Says the Gemara, we're talking about Yisraimi, orphans. Orphans, you take only karka. So the Gemara, let's see the next part. If he took metaltalim, then Beis Din will allow him to hold on to the metaltalim, to the movables. If he asked me, "Am I Beis Din why it's equivalent to mem?" We don't allow it. Only karkons can take from Yisraim. Says more. I'll tell you why. Tovas mechayim. What is tovas mechayim? He held on to it during the life of the father, before the father died. He was toifus medallion before. So then, once the father died, we don't take it away from him. But if it was really a Yisraimi, you can't take it without him. So that's what it says. When the Mishnah says Shavek Kesef, it means only karka in the case of Yisraimi. Continues the Gemara. Bifnei Beis Din, you have to do it in front of Beis Din. Prat lemoicher nechosov ve'achar kach olech leBeis Din. If he sold the nechosov have to be right now in front of Beis Din. But if he sold it before he went to Beis Din, no. Shami lova umocha nechosim. Someone who borrowed money and then he sold the nechosim. Beis Din and Beis Din won't take it for him. Of course you're allowed to take. You always go from Mishu Badim. Ella Prad Beis Din. So Moses said you're right. Meaning what more happening was if they Beis Din you do it, you need to have if you sold it, it's gone. Well, that's not true. We have something called Shibut. So he's discussed over here. The Gemara understands Shibut D'Oraisa, Shibut Lav D'Oraisa. But if you have Shibut, you go after the Lakuchas. So more no, it's Prad Beis Din. Can't be Beis Din Yotis. It needs to be experts. Says the Gemara, Pi Eidim. What's a Pi Eidim? Prat needs to have Eidim. Prat lemoid de beknas hagaboid shu patr. Meaning, in the case of knas, when it's let's say chatzi nezik, which is knas, according to one man domer, if he was moide, he's patr. Because once he was moide, even though Eidim came, you're patr. That's what it means. Al pi Eidim, la al pi atzma. Hanich man domer moide beknas hagaboid patr. That's only if you say someone who's moide beknas, he admitted the knas, then came Eidim, he's patr. Because what is the case? This is more we had in Makis. We're going in Makis. If you have someone is owes a knas, we know the klal. Moed the knas potter. You have a knas, something that's not considered to be tashumi a regular moment. If you admit, you're potter. Now, one case over here, if he admitted and then came Eidim. Some say he admitted. Some say yeah, but then they have Eidim, so I don't need his admission. So what are you going to say over here? So say for itself, the way you read it as one line. When it says Eid al pi Eidim, it's not al pi Eidim kama. Al pi Eidim nechoyim bnei bris. Al pi Eidim that are bnei choyim and not avodim and bnei bris. And it says more that this one Dav explains it. Bnei choyim bnei bris. Bnei choyim lemute avodim. You say you can't be a slave. Bnei bris lemute v'techavim that the Eidim cannot be goy. V'tzricha is going, you need to tell me both. Yes, we're an Eved. You tell me an Eved can be a Mishunei lo yachas. There's no relation between an Eved and his father. There's no yichus. Aval nochi there's sheyachas emaloi, but a goy does have a relation to his previous generation. Rashi brings the pasuk that says, I had a Adrimon bit Tavrimon mechazel. You talk about a goy and you miyachas him to his father. As emaloi, yes, we are nochi. We should do the shach mitzvah. The nochi is a goy. Aval Eved the shach mitzvah. It might say Eved has a din like a yisho. Emaloi, maybe you have a din of what? Oh, that you will be able to be an aid. So that's why you need both. Tell me, the Eidim cannot be not avodim and not going to can be both. So let's just go back, and this will end today. Let's go back to the Mishnah and see again the words. We said the Mishnah is an encrypted Mishnah, not clear. So now the Gemara said we just learned the first few words of the Mishnah. Going back to the Mishnah. Shum Kesef. What does Shum Kesef teach me? Shum Kesef teach me that it has to be a valuation of money. And I don't just go say exchange or take what will damage you. You have to actually have valuation of money. Shvei Kesef. What does Shvei Kesef teach you? Shvei Kesef teaching you that you can take only from Karka in the case of Yisrael. And then it says, Bifnei Beis Din. Beis Din has to be not Hediotis. That's a Paskor of the Gemara. Al Pi Eidim. So according to one man, Al Pi Eidim means that to tell you if he was Moide, then came Eidim Potter. That's one mandama. The other mandama reads it as one sentence. Then you have to be Bnei Chorim and Bnei Bris, meaning not Avodim and not Koyim, in order to be Eidim. We'll stop over here and we will be in touch. We're going tomorrow because I have a conflict, so we'll see the exact time. Call to Rabbi.